Commandos, Trijets, and Waterfalls are just some of the new releases to grace the simulation world last week. Hi there, folks. My name's NovaWrap, and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for all your simulation release news and goings-on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday, the 7th of July, 2024, for another action-packed but small episode of the NovaWrap, and we're going to jump straight into it this week with the release from the team over at Microsoft and Aeroplane Heaven of the latest local legend 17, of the Curtiss C-46 Commando. So the C-46 Commando was a twin-engined transport aircraft during the Second World War, which was essentially it's a bigger DC-3. Like, let's be honest, it's a bigger DC-3, but it featured a pressurized cabin, which was something that was fairly unusual for the time period. First flying in 1940, it received extensive service during the Second World War, and then would go on to service with the civilian world and other armed forces outside of the American military in the post-war world. Now, for me personally, this aircraft has a strong connection for flight simulation, given the fact that it was one of the last aircraft released for Microsoft Flight. So this was a 100% instant buy for me, and the team over at Aeroplane Heaven look like they have done a great job for this one. High detailed cockpit, high detailed 3D model used throughout, custom sound set used throughout, and overall looking pretty good quality as we've come to expect from Aeroplane Heaven. Now, if you wanted to pick this one up and add this one to your collection, you can pick this one up for $15 or your original equivalent, available now from the InSim Marketplace. And speaking of InSim Marketplace releases, the team over at Microsoft released a free update with their latest city update with the release of their Northeastern United States release. Now, this was an interesting release. Now, normally when we see city updates, we sort of see they're fairly extensive. This one seems to be fairly small, this one, and given the fact that it pays attention to parts of the sim that have been previously covered by world updates or covered by the base sim, this one seems to focus primarily on Washington, D.C., but also included updates and POIs for Buffalo, New York, Allentown in Pennsylvania, and East End of Long Island in New York. So overall, this pack is probably, in some ways, this pack is the lightest of the city packs I think they've done. However, having flown it myself, we got together and we flew it together as part of our community stream on Twitch yesterday. It was interesting seeing the quality of the new data that they've actually collected. So this one collects a new LiDAR data, new type of LiDAR data sourcing that they've used. And in an interview with FS Elite, Jorg went on to sort of say that it was actually one of the most difficult pack that they've ever gone to develop because of the challenges and the difficulties of being able to get time in the airspace over Washington, D.C. And I have to say that going through and flying around Washington, D.C. and the area, you can really tell that the updated data sources that they got there, the updated technology they're using to source that data, combined with their latest use of their latest and updates in photogrammetry technology, really do work. Like, that is pretty impressive what you're seeing here. Get a number of POIs included, including major US Capitol buildings, including the White House, all modeled now as custom POIs. Overall, looking pretty good. As I said, it's a free update once again from the team over at Microsoft, available now from the InSim Marketplace. Now, moving back to aircraft releases for Microsoft Flight Simulator, the team over at TFDI have released their MD-11 for both Microsoft Flight Simulator and for Prepared V4 through V6. So, of course, the MD-11 from TFDI has been announced and has been coming soon for quite some time. And of course, the team confirmed that the release date would be July 2nd at Flight Sim Expo. And they have delivered on their promise, releasing it available in two different versions. You can choose to either purchase the MD-11 in its passenger configuration, the iconic Trijet, or you can pick it up in its cargo variation. The base price for this one is coming in at $70. If you then say that, if you purchase the passenger one and they go, you know what, I want to fly some passengers that don't talk back, then you can pick up the cargo version, or aka the version that you didn't buy as part of the whichever base pack that you bought. You can buy that for only $10. So not a bad pricing structure, I have to say, for this one. And that pricing structure is the same whether you're purchasing it for Microsoft Flight Simulator or for Prepared. It comes with a highly detailed system simulation of all aircraft systems, including the hydraulics, electrical, and AFS systems, as well as a custom modeled flight model, as well as the modeling of the CRT screens found in 1990s aircraft, rather than the modern sort of LCD screens that we are used to in modern aircraft. It does include a onboard EFB to help you load passengers, fuel, and change options on the fly. Now, they have also announced that there will be an additional extended simulation package coming later this year, which will add in numerous failures, as well as what appears to sound like basically an iOS kind of station, of essentially you can potentially hand off control of what failures you get to a friend, which could make for some interesting events, particularly if any streamers start doing that to some of their community. Anyway, but yeah, that is a package that is coming down the line, not available at launch, but will be coming later in the release time frame. Otherwise, if you're looking at picking this one at this notification, as you can see, you pick up the base package in either the cargo variant or the passenger variant for $70 and pick up the version of the aircraft that you didn't get as part of the base for only $10. Available now from the TFDI website. Rounding out the Microsoft Flight Simulator release news now, Parallel 42 has released their latest scenery pack, or perhaps we should call this a re-release, I'm not sure. The release of the Victoria Falls scenery pack. So this is a interesting pack, this one. So this recreates the Victoria Falls region on the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe. But what's interesting about this is that this is actually was developed by Simon Fogarty, who is now the new head of scenery development at Parallel 42. But most Flight Sim users will probably more likely know him as Jefferson 2001, who's been a fairly prolific pay and freeware developer for Microsoft Flight Simulator for a number of years. Now, previously, Simon has released this as a payware product available through multiple stores across the flight simulation world. And so this pack is not new, like it has been out for a while. However, this is a update to the pack. There are new things that are featured in this pack as was part of recreating this iconic and majestic part of the world. But it is now available from Parallel 42. Now, this raises a couple of questions, of course, for the community. The Parallel 42 on their website, when you go to purchase it, it clearly states that if you have previously purchased it from Jefferson 2001, then you already own this pack. So I had a look on the stores where it was previously still being sold as under his name, and I couldn't see any information about whether or not it's been updated in line with the one that's now been released from Parallel 42. I kind of assume that it will be. I can't guarantee that. I don't know. Or if perhaps we'll see that will be withdrawn from sale from other platforms and you'll be brought over onto the Parallel 42 platform. I don't know. They are questions that have not been answered by the community, by Parallel 42 as of yet, as of time of recording this one. But hopefully we'll have an answer for that soon. But it also raises another question, given the fact that Simon has released a number of scenery packs, very much in the idea of the experience. I almost call them experience packs in the idea of Parallel 42. Whether or not we will be seeing these move under the Parallel 42 brand in the coming few weeks and months, I'm not sure. But for those of you who don't know about this pack, this is a highly detailed rendition and recreation of the Victoria Falls, sort of the national park surrounding Victoria Falls. Includes a number of dirt strips as well as helipads, so there is very much a lot for low and slow fires. This one, so you get 6 heliports, 4 bush strips, animated sound and mist effects for Victoria Falls itself, over 30 landable helipads, as well as additional remote helipads along the Zambezi River, an animated microlight, speedboats, rafts, and cable cars, as well as an animated rapids along the 23-mile stretch of the Batuka Gorge. A whole heap of other features here. As I said, this has been a classic and highly rated part of the release from the community for since its initial release, and it's great to see it coming over from the Parallel 42 brand. But as I said, with the caveat of the questions that we asked earlier. But if you want to pick this one up, you can pick this one up directly from Parallel 42 for $15 or your original equivalent, available now from Parallel 42. Moving out of Microsoft Flight Simulator now, moving back in time to, well, supposedly also back in time to the world of Lockheed Martin's prepared and legacy of Microsoft Flight Simulators. The team over at Golden Age Simulations have released their latest aircraft for the release of the Ryan PT-22 Recruit. So this was a all-metal monoplane trainer aircraft designed and built for the U.S. Army Air Corps in the 1940s, and it was a development of the previously civilian optimized Ryan ST series. Includes with a fully animated cockpit, full highly detailed 3D model both internally and externally, high quality textures used throughout, custom sound set used for the Kinner 160 horsepower engine, and various texture and aerodynamic effects. If you want to pick this one up and add this one to your collection, you can pick this one up for $17 or your regional equivalent, available now from Sim Market. And with that, folks, that does now round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by following me on Facebook and on Twitter and on Twitch. Just search NovaWin24. Alright, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.